Welcome back. Joining us this morning is Cheryl Zimmer, Executive Director for Logos Public Charter School. Good morning, Cheryl. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning.
Now, for people that might not be familiar with Logos, how would you describe it and what exactly makes it a public charter school?
Yeah, so Logos Public Charter School was founded in 2010. What is so unique about it is it's the largest non-virtual school in the charter school in the state of Oregon. And so what that means is we are a hybrid personalized learning school that serves 1,300 kids in Jackson and Josephine counties. And so it is just a public charter school is almost like a science experiment where you're like, we're going to do something different than the traditional school. We're going to do it this way. And let's see what the results are. And for us, the results have been great. We have a 98% graduation rate. This year, we'll have 17 kids graduate with their associate's degree from college while in high school, and we were named that Cognia's only school of distinction in Oregon, and there's only 3 in the Pacific Northwest. So we're supposed to do something completely different. We've been doing it that way in Medford for the last 16 years, serving kids across Jackson and Josephine counties, and it's worked.
Wow, a lot of accomplishments. Sounds like there's a lot to brag about.
There is. I could do this all morning.
You guys have just broken ground on an exciting new project. So what can you tell us about the soon-to-be new tutoring and performing arts center?
Absolutely. So because we have 1,300 kids, but it's a hybrid, we don't have to have quite as big of a facility because different kids come in on different days doing different classes and things like that. But we have a tutoring center in our assembly room currently that, especially during busy quarter end times and things like that, students will drop in for tutoring, and that can get pretty full. So we're across the street. We're building a 16,000 square foot, actually 17,000 square foot building, and it will be a tutoring center, but it will also serve as a performing arts. So we had our Spring Fest this past week. It's a musical showcase, and we always have to have it somewhere else other than our school. So having a place that we can have performing arts, theater, just all the fun things that schools do, doubling a tutoring center and a performing arts center. It's going to be great for our school.
It sounds like this will create a lot of new opportunities for students and their families, and it's just another example of kind of a personalized education for these kids. What are you most excited about it?
So our teachers meet one-on-one with students every week, and they want to know the student. They want to know everything about the student, and that's how we have such a high graduation rate. And this will have 17 meeting spaces as well for those one-on-one meetings between teachers and students, and I say that's where the magic happens. So besides the tutoring center and the performing arts, having that ability to have more spaces for teachers to meet with students and make that magic of what makes our school so great.
What does a typical day look like for a typical Logos student?
I laugh because I don't know that there is a typical Logos student, because what we do is we will customize an education bit depending on the need of the student. So we will have a student could wake up and be doing a subject in a book at their house. They could be doing an online subject at their house. They can come to our school for classes at the school. We can also do things with community partners, things like karate, and that can count as PE. So it just depends on the student and how much they want online, how much they want in a book, how much they want classes at our school, how much they need in person versus other forms. And so it just, I tease that all 1,300 students have a completely different schedule.
Well, Cheryl, is there anything else that you would like to mention before we wrap up here today?
One of the things that's so great about our school is it is so innovative. We won a National Innovation Award 2 years ago, and I believe that this is going to be one of the futures of education. And it's so great that it's right here in Medford. We get calls across the nation saying, tell us how you do this, because people want this kind of model. And so I think in the next 100 years, you'll see more schools just like ours popping up.
Well, Cheryl, thank you so much for being on our show today and teaching our viewers a little bit about Logos.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course. Now, Logos Public Charter School is located on North Ross Lane in Medford, where they just broke ground on a brand new tutoring and performing arts center. For more information about how Logos works and the programs that they offer, just visit their website. That's logoscharter.com. Once again, Cheryl, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.